What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Robert R. Ricks. We are about to do our live story time. This is the things we do where I let you crazy motherfuckers throw out some words and I attempt to make a story based off those words within the allotted time. So let's see who is going to be playing with us tonight. We have Backwoods Hickalope, Paula. We got Tenchi. We got Drop for Survival in the motherfucking house. What's up, brother? We got Brian and Garen. Yep. Have I watched Harry Potter? Yes, I have watched Harry Potter. I've seen pretty much everything on Harry Potter. I think I'm ordering an Ultra Saber lightsaber tonight. Very nice. Very nice. Let me get my my stuff ready here. Let's see. I need to put that over there for right now. Let me get a brightly colored pen so I can see these words. Hey, what's up, Tammy? You're probably going to enjoy this. This is stuff I've been doing for a little bit here, where I take some keywords, stuff like that people throw out, and I attempt to make a story based off that shit. So it's always kind of a fun little episode. Again, apologies for the coughity cough. I'm coming off the tail end of a cold here. So yeah, let's see. We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that count might not be right there because it says I have 5, but I counted 6. So we'll see. Anyway, the way that this works is I basically will have you guys throw in some words. FYI, Hulu is crashing. 3 million are trying to order HBO subscription for Games of Thrones. Oh, that's hilarious. I know. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, man. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Micah starts Surge Tech School tomorrow night. Awesome. Awesome. Uh-oh. Brian says he's got a good word tonight. God help us. God help us. This is gonna, I have a sneaky suspicion. And it's funny because my wife had to work tonight, but she said her word she wanted to add in was Jon Snow. So yes, even the Game of Thrones is gonna permeate into this particular episode just because I don't think anybody can get away from that shit at this point because winter has arrived for sure. So that'll be kind of interesting. So I'm going to make a notation right now of her word, which is Jon Snow. So there will be 10 words plus that will give us 11 words for tonight's episode. And the way it works is you guys will throw out words when I tell you. Oh, nice. Preston's going to be home for a bit. That's good. I bet you're happy about that. It's always nice to have family around, you know. At least if you can stand a family. There are some instances where having family around is not necessarily conducive or fun. So, I digress. So, I think, you know what? Let's not waste any time. So, everybody that's on here right now, if you would like to throw out a word, a phrase, something that is somewhat logical, can be random. I don't care if they're random words, but Lemuria, lost city, continent. Lemuria. Okay, Lemuria. Okay, Lemuria, lost city. Okay. Oh, God. Already. Here we go. Backwoods. Jesus. Okay. Animagus and Buckbeak the Hippogriff are my words. Oh, you guys are fucking assholes today. Okay. Alright. Shit. You guys are throwing some fucking tough ones. Okay, Animagus. Animagus. I'm gonna have to get some definitions on some of this. Buckbeak Hippogriff is easy. Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Well, I think Hippogriff. Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Okay. Pussy Juice. Fucking back. Oh my god. Pussy Juice. Gray Worm. Gray Worm. Oops. Not word. Worm. Holy fuck. Moonpies. Really, Tenching? You're putting a risk there, putting that shit out like that. Moonpies. RC Cola. The Angry Drackalope. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, let's see. Animagus is a wizard who changes into an animal. Okay. I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know there was an Animagus. Interesting. And wedding. Okay, thank you, Tammy. I swear to God, you guys are so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more word. Fucking backwards. Holy shit. Yeah, I know what a hippogriff is. Let's see. Animagus, Buckbeak the Hippogriff. Sirius Black is an Animagus. Okay. Oh, is that okay? That's what you're asking about the Harry Potter stuff. Okay, I got you. I got you. Cuddles, bringer of death. Fucker. Okie dokie, Cuddles, bringer of death. Of death. I think I have everything I need. Scrotum. Let me see where I was at with Cuddles. Cuddles, bringer of death. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus the 11 Jon Snow, which is the word from the wife. Oh, you guys are such fucking assholes. I swear to God. You guys are not trying to make fucking shit easy for me, are you? Okay, Jon Snow, Lemuria, which is a lost city, right? Lost city continent. Animagus, and I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Let's see, Animagus, yes, Animagus, and Magus. Animagus, like animal magus. Okay, Animagus, Buckbeak the Hippogriff, Pussy Juice, Grey Worm, Moonpies, RC Cola, the Angry Drackalope, Wedding, Cuddles, Bringer of Death. Oh, fuck. Hey, what's up, Vixen? This is going to be a interesting one, to say the least. Yeah. Let's see. Vixen, if you want to throw a word out, go for it. I'm going to attempt to figure out what the fuck this story is going to be about, because there is All kinds of craziness in here. Oh, Tinchy, you have indeed fucked yourself on this one, I believe. Yes, indeed. I think you have fucked yourself, my friend. I really do. Yes, indeed. Oh. Oh, shit! Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express. Fuck it. I'll throw that in there too. Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express. And the lovely vixen has thrown out destruction. Okay. All right, so Yak says hi. He's washing the dishes. Awesome. Okay, so lordy lord. Let's see here. Okie dokie. Okay. I think I have a I think I have something here. Go for it, Garen. What's your question? Let's see. While you're formulating a question, the words for tonight are going to be Jon Snow, Lemuria, Animagus, Buckbeak the Hippogriff, Pussy Juice, Grey Worm, Moonpies, RC Cola, the Angry Drackalope, Wedding, Cuddles, Bringer of Death, Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express, and Destruction. So, that is what I get to work with. No, he's not exactly like Black Dynamite, but Black Dynamite would probably enjoy playing Chemo Jackson inside of the Happy Core. Put it that way. I don't think he would be opposed to it. It's going to be a little bit on the crazy side, but yeah, most definitely. All right, and also just wanted to share with you guys, if you didn't see the thing last night, there is the shirt that came out really fucking good. Just FYI. So, all right, I'm gonna get the story started here, and let's see. Let me put this somewhere where I can see it. Let me see all my words. There we go. Again, Jon Snow, Lemuria, Animagus, Buckbeak the Hippogriff, Pussy Juice, Grey Worm, Moonpies, RC Cola, the Angry Drackalope, Wedding, Cuddles, Bringer of Death, Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express, and Destruction. I got a full load tonight. That's what she said. Let's get it started. Tinchy knew better. It was really, really late at night, but he was binge watching some of his favorite shows, and as he had a moon pie in one hand and an RC Cola in the other, he chugged and chomped away happily as he watched Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express getting down inside of Big Trouble in Little China. He wondered if he'd be able to watch an episode of Game of Thrones and see his favorite character, Jon Snow, getting it down with the Targaryen. But he knew, because of all the crazy excitement and overload of the systems, that probably wasn't going to happen. So he continued to watch Big Trouble in Little China as he munched on his moon pies and slurped away happily at his RC Cola. He felt tired, and as he started to drift to sleep, he yelled out his battle cry one last time. I'm so sleepy, but the angry Drackalope will return, and he fell asleep to have very interesting, odd dreams. He found himself shivering, cold. Looking around, he saw that he was standing in an open field, barren, desolate, but beautifully stark and white. There was snow everywhere, and he realized he was naked. He looked down and realized he had looked far worse than he had ever before, and he knew it was because of the cold. He ran, looking, searching, trying to find some area of warmth. He saw a cave. He ran towards the cave, and he thought to himself, this is a weird fucking dream. I really shouldn't have eaten all them damn moon pies. Anyway, at some point I'll wake up and it'll be fine. He got to the cave, and it was dimly lit, and he walked in, looking around curiously. This is a little bit weird. I don't know why I'd be dreaming of a cave and ice and snow, because what the fuck? There was nothing I was watching. This doesn't make any sense. This is weird. And he was thankful that at least in the cave he was outside of the... He was away from the frigid cold. Looking down, he saw that his member had at least poked its head out to look around and make sure it wasn't so cold anymore. He was happy about that. He was worried, though. It was still cold enough that he might get frostbite. And he wondered to himself, shit, if you're walking around naked and you got frostbite, would your dick fall off? Fuck, I hope not. So he continued further into the cave. As he walked a little further, he saw it got darker and darker, and he paused. He didn't have a weapon. He was butt naked, and he was going deeper into a dark cave. He wondered if he had better chances going back into the cold and looking around, but he remembered there really wasn't anything that he could see. So further in the cave he would go, hoping something would be there. He continued, and he smelled something a little odd, a little bitter, a little sour. And he continued further, straining his ears to listen. He heard the sound of something kind of rustling, making noise, and then snoring. He said, holy shit, there's something snoring. But it didn't sound like a animal, he was sure. It sounded almost human, so he figured it might not be bad. So he walked a little further, and there was a faint glow ahead in front of him, a greenish glow. He got further, and he saw there was a large shape slumbering. You could see its body expanding and contracting with each breath, and slight snoring. And he saw, perhaps it's better I don't wake that up. He wished he had his TFK with him, but alas, all he had was his gray worm, which he dared not use as a weapon. He laughed as he looked down. In the dull light, his penis did look like a gray worm. He walked, started chuckling to himself. Gray worm. He'd have to tell his friends about that when he woke up. My dick looked like a gray worm. So he kept walking. And then he saw another shape. This was a man. He knew this was a man. Heavily cloaked, leaned forward, looked like he was scouring some sort of a large book with candlelight. And he walked forward and he said, excuse me. And the man turned and looked at him. Who are you? And he thought about saying his real name and felt bold and brave. He said, fuck it, it's my dream. I am the Angry Drackalope. The man nodded. Interesting. My name is Cuddles, bringer of death. Tinchy smirked. Really? Cuddles, bringer of death. Okay, Cuddles. I have a question for you. Where am I? You do not realize that you stand upon Lemuria? No, I'm standing in a cave. Is that the name of this cave? You're a daft fool, aren't you? No. Lemuria, magical realm. So I'm still on Earth, right? Yes, you stand upon the Earth. Mr. Drackalope, correct? Yes, I am the Angry Drackalope. You don't appear to be angry. You appear to be a cold little man. Anyway, why are you here? What do you wish? Well, actually, nothing. I fell asleep and now I'm here and I'm having a crazy dream. Ah, you think this is a dream? It is, right? The man motioned, and an icicle formed in his hand. Tenchi looked, stared at it, mesmerized by the abilities of the man. Wow, this is really a really cool dream. The man motioned and the icicle shot forth, and it cut Tenchi's cheek. Ow! What the fuck, man? He yelled out, stumbling backwards. He bumped into something large. He turned, and there was a shape in front of him that he realized was a hippogriff. Oh, fuck me. The hippogriff tilted his head. I think it would kill you if I did. What the fuck? The man sighed. Buckbeak, take this imbecile. Put him in a cage. Tenchi tried to run, but suddenly his legs didn't move. The hippogriff just leaned forward, pushed his head on Tenchi, and Tenchi slid forward. He said, I'm sorry. The master is a bit of a mood lately. He's preparing for a wedding, you see, and he's all nerves, all bundled, just completely nervous about the whole situation. But I have to do as I am told, Tenchi said. What? Why am I being put in a cage? I suppose he's going to sacrifice you at some point. But allow me to introduce myself, because I am not a rude one. I am Buckbeak the Hippogriff. I work for my lord, Cuddles, bringer of death. He tried to say this with a straight face. Tenchi noted it was very difficult for him. He pushed Tenchi a little bit further, until finally there was a cage in front of Tenchi. Tenchi's like, don't put me in there. I don't like to be in cages. Buckbeak said, I apologize, good sir, but I must follow my instructions. He pushed him in, nodded, the cage closed, and Tenchi stood inside of the cage. And he said, I didn't catch your name, good sir. What is your name? I'm the Angry Drackalope. The Angry Drackalope. Well, I hope you are some form of an Animagus with a name like that. Do you transform yourself into some form of a dragon, perhaps? Tenchi thought about this. It was his dream, but also, why the fuck not? He said, yes, watch. And he closed his eyes and he concentrated and he said, change into a massive dragon. He opened his eyes and everything looked much larger around him. The hippogriff stared down at him. Oh, impressive indeed. I suppose this is why you're so angry. Tenchi stared up at him and tried to roar. The hippogriff shook his head. Even though you're small enough to pass through the threshold of the gate, I highly recommend you don't do so, because then I'd have to eat you, and you don't look very delicious. I apologize. And at that, Buckbeak the hippogriff turned and walked away. Tenchi strained. He struggled. He couldn't understand what had happened. Why had everything suddenly got so fucking large around him? And why did his voice sound weird? Wait! Don't go! Come back! The hippogriff ignored him. Tenchi thought, well, obviously I transformed into something. I am indeed an Animagus. Perhaps I can cast spells. He reached out his hands and noted there were claws, little scaled claws. He's like, oh, I did turn into a dragon. This is fucking awesome. I'm a fucking dragon. But then he had a thought. Why does this cage look so fucking large around me? He touched the bars, and he realized the bars were massive. And then realization set in. Fuck. I'm tiny, aren't I? I'm a little fucking tiny dragon. Well, fuck it. So he walked out, and he looked. He had a tail. He was happy. He looked down. There was no dick. Wait, where'd my dick go? What the fuck? He reached down with his little scaly hands, and there was just scales. He thought, well, Maybe if I got aroused, it would pop out. But fuck it. I don't need to do that right now. All I need to do is get the fuck out of here and figure out what's going on. So he started to walk. He left the cage. There were vats, many small vats, different liquids, different concoctions, different types of things that obviously Cuddles, the bringer of death, had been working on. Some kind of alchemical extractions of some sort. Tenchi hopped up onto it, climbed, and he looked around, and he said, there's different things here. Perhaps I can do something like Alice in Wonderland. Maybe I can make a mixture, and it will make me a big dragon. Then I could deal with this fuckhead and show him what the fuck is going on. I'll show him what the Drackalope is really fucking about. So he started to sniff each of the vials, trying to see if he could deduce as an Animagus that perhaps there was something could make him large. So he started to look, and there was one vat, smelled meaty, sweet, different. He was like, So he dipped a little clawed finger in and, hey, that tasted actually pretty good. Okay. So he started to sample different ones. He heard a, I asked you to not leave the cage, and apparently, in your diminutive size, you cannot follow the simple instructions. He turned and looked up, and there was Buckbeak staring at him. Well, I was just, examining the master's, alchemical extractions here, and, sampling those. Oh, dear God. You actually were sampling some of this? Yeah, that one right there tasted pretty good. Well, that was filled with pussy juice. Tenchi paused. Okay, that's not terrible. And that one? Those were secreted from anal glands. That's ass juice. Tenchi vomited. It was very similar to what someone would see inside The Exorcist. It was very, very violent. The hippogriff laughed. Well, I suppose you could help in some ways, because I would rather not have the master get married. Tenchi wiped his beak. Felt fangs. What? What could possibly be worse than what I have gone through already? Well, if the master does indeed marry death, then that would mean destruction for all living things. Oh, but this is a dream, so at some point I'll wake up. Oh, my dear, dear mini dragon, you do not understand the precarious position you find yourself in. This is no dream. This is the real deal. Because the master is manipulating different forms of magic, you're seeing the real world. You may have been calling yourself a Drackalope, but in reality, this is your true form. This is what you really are. Oh. So if he gets married, everything ends. No. There is destruction, but it does not end. All living things will suddenly become his playthings to have and do as he wishes with. Wow. Fuck. This is shitty. What should I do? Well, what were you trying to do? Well, I was gonna mix a concoction to make myself bigger. Well, you were almost right. You did drink the pussy juice and the ass juice, but there is another liquid that's a little bit further down the aisle there. It's the pink and purple one. If you mix 5 drops with that, 10 drops of the ass juice, 1 drops of the pussy juice. Okay, wait. Ass juice. Okay, why why is there ass juice? And how is that any way reflective of a growth potion? Do you wish to grow large or not? Yeah, I do. Fuck it, I do. Yes, what? Okay, so as I told you, so Tenchi set about to make the mixture. And thankfully, Buckbeak the Hippogriff helped him. So they made a concoction that was vile and very nasty smelling. Tenchi thought about it. Do I really have to drink this? Well, do you wish to stop what's coming? I suppose. Then yes, you have to drink all of it. Why can't you feed it? Why can't you? I mean, you're big. You could kill him, probably. He has me under a spell. I have to follow his instructions, and I have to make sure that, I do as he tells me. Well, I'm supposed to be in the cage. Yes, and I will put you back in the cage at some point, but there was no definitive directives to me to do it and maintain that you stay in the cage. He only asked me to put you in the cage in the first place. Tenchi nodded, understanding. Fine. He drank the vile ass juice, pussy juice, vomit, mixture of all kinds of nastiness, and he fought. He fought hard to keep that nastiness in his mouth, and he swallowed, and he swallowed. He swallowed it, and then he began to grow and become massive in size. And he looked at the hippogriff, who was snickering and smiling. What's so fucking funny? You didn't need to drink the ass juice. I just added that in there because it just seemed funny at the time. You fuckhead. Yeah, I know. I'm an asshole. What can I say? So Tenchi suddenly was very, very large. And he said, okay, so what do I do now? I suppose you do what dragons do. Go and take care of Cuddles, bringer of death. What about you? Me? There's nothing I can do. I just have to stand back and wait. And pray that the master doesn't ask me to kill you. I'm going to hang back here, out of earshot, and I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Drackalope. Tenchi nodded. He wondered, would he really be able to kill somebody? Would he really be able to defeat Cuddles, bringer of death? He was scared. He was nervous. He wasn't sure if he'd be able to do it, but then he thought about it. If he didn't, the whole world would be destroyed. He took a deep breath. He looked down at himself. Not only had he grown, but his claws on his hands had extended. They were now wicked talons, extending at least 6 feet. He knew there was no way this guy would be able to stop him. He charged forward, roared a horrible roar that shook the cave. He approached Cuddles, reached down and slashed with all of his might. The claws passed through Cuddles, as if he were an apparition, as if he were not even there. The man turned and faced him. Oh, interesting. You mean to do me harm? Well, I hope you are a powerful mage. Have at it then. He made several passes in the air. Tenchi, terrified, not knowing what to do, felt like a deer in the headlights. When the first blast hit him, he felt a searing pain in his chest. He looked down and there was a hole, and it was burning and getting larger. Tenchi paused and thought, You're an Animagus. You should be able to cast spells too. Do something, dumb fuck. And he said, fire. Nothing happened. And then he said, shit. And he went to turn to run, and his tail swung behind him, and it smashed the book that the man had been reading. As the tail passed through him harmlessly, he saw the man scream out, no! Tenchi turned. What fucking happened? He saw the man struggling to get to the book, but he couldn't touch the book. Tenchi realized, wait a minute. The book is his weak spot. He reached over with his talon claws and plunged his hand into the book, piercing it. The man screamed out as a claw passed through his chest, similar to what was happening to the book. Tenchi rended the book, and the man screamed out a bloody, horrible scream, and Tenchi smiled. Got you, fucker. And the man looked up at him and smiled and said, perhaps, but you will never go back to where you came from. And then he faded out. Tenchi looked at his chest, which still hurt him. Buckbeak cheered from behind him. You did it! You actually fucking figured it out! I am impressed indeed, Drackalope. Tenchi turned and showed him his chest. What happens now? The hippogriff looked at his chest, tilted his head, shook it. I'm sorry. 'Tis a mortal wound. You will die from that. Tenchi felt sad. But I saved everybody though, right? The Hippogriff nodded. "I did. You did indeed. And if I lived, would I be able to go home?" The Hippogriff looked, saw the book was gone. "No, you're here. You're here forever." Tenchi nodded. "How long does it take for me to die?" The Hippogriff looked. "I could use some spell work on that. I could probably keep you alive for at least a day or two. But you would be in horrible, horrible pain." Tenchi didn't want to die painfully. He sat down, moped a little bit. He didn't look like an angry Drackalope. He looked like a sad Drackalope. And he said, "I don't really want to die." The Hippogriff said, "Well, at least you did something noble. You did something brave." He goes, "I don't want to feel pain." The Hippogriff nodded knowingly. "I understand. Maybe you should drink this." The Hippogriff nodded and a little potion floated towards Tenchi. Tenchi looked at it. "Is there more ass juice in that?" "No, there is no ass juice in that. But that will give you sleep." Tenchi nodded, drank the small vial. He felt the warmth pass through his body. He felt sleepy. His eyes started to close. He felt a weight on his back a little bit, but he was so tired he didn't care. And then all of a sudden he felt a very faint nick at the back of his head. And he realized the Hippogriff was riding on his back. And then he saw darkness. A deep darkness suddenly flow over him. And Tenchi was no more. That is the end of the story. Tenchi saved everybody, but Tenchi died. So that's the problem when you introduce yourself into my story. You end up eating ass juice and pussy juice and end up dying. But you saved everybody. So there you go. That's the story. We got Jon Snow. Yes. Jon Snow and the Targaryen. Yes. Lemuria got that in there. Animagus got that in there. Buckbeak the Hippogriff got that in there. Pussy Juice got that in there. Grey Worm got that in there because Tenchi's dick was the Grey Worm. Moonpies because he was eating mass quantities of Moonpies and drinking RC Cola. And of course, he introduced himself as the Angry Drackalope multiple times. That was in there. Wedding was to be averted. Cuddles, Bringers of Death, was the bad guy. Jack Burton and the Porkchop Express was part of the things that he was watching before he fell asleep. And he averted the destruction. Boom! There it is. Okay, we got all the words in there. Whether or not that was a good story, I'll leave that to you good folks to decide. This was a little bit of a funky one just because it had a lot of random shit and it was not very easy to do. But I kept it short and sweet and had a little bit of fun in there. So that is that. We did that in pretty good time. So we did that in about 40 minutes. The Great Worm Dick. Grey Worm Dick. So anyway, that's that will end that one right there. And feel glad, Tenchi. Feel glad. Feel very glad because that I could have done some very, very, very horrible things to you, Tenchi. Terrible, terrible things to you. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. And I fought hard, Tenchi. I was gonna make you do some really horrible things, and I thought, you know what? If I go this route, then this is totally gonna be a not safe for work thing. Yeah, backwards. I think at some point I will take the bulk of these and actually put that out and clean them up and actually elaborate just a little bit, like a series of short stories taking from the great halls of the internet. I swear to God, you guys made this one difficult. This was a pretty difficult one to figure out. Oh, shit. Not suggesting my name. No, I'm not, you know, you guys are guilty by association just because, you know, oh yeah, Paula's saying not putting her name in yet. She's like, that's smart. That's smart. Because you never know where these stories are going to go. And a lot of times, many people die in the stories. So, it's not. It's really not good to try to throw your names up in here because it could end badly, very badly. But it just so happened that the Angry Drackalope played well into that whole Animagus keyword there. So my notes were, Tenchi fell asleep watching, and um, dream sequence, possible reality shift. That's all I have here for notes, and then the rest of it, I just had to keep looking at the keywords and reminding myself that those had to be in there, and I would try to make that work. So it would have been funny. Let's see, Rob, with terrible things. If my name were ever used, great things, but terrible things. Brian, it's one of those things. You, I think, and Backwoods tend to throw some of the hardest types of things in there. So I think you guys would probably end up having some very interesting adventures, but I can't necessarily see like horrible things. Like I said, I was going to do horrible things with Tenchi, but then I decided, you know what? I really don't want to go that route just because in the event that words really have power, I didn't want to be like cursing shit. So, I said fuck it. I thought, there was enough fun poking that I did with Tenchi on there that I think anybody who watches it and actually knows Tenchi would probably chuckle at and be like, that's pretty funny. But, for the most part, it is what it is. I just wanted to the other thing we're working on, me and a wife, and she likes to do these story times with me, like to the point where she actually went and got a soundboard. And the idea is, as I do these and I hit a keyword, she hits one of the soundboard things, right? And then at the end, if I get all of them, it's going to be like a like, success or whatever. And so she's been actually researching some of that stuff on her iPad to as she sits there, just boop boop boop, and then sit there and have a thing. And then the other one that would be cool is to have some way of having it on the screen, and then as they're being done. So, everyone's name used in a camping ghost story one night. That would probably be, we'll plan that for Halloween, Brian. That's a great idea. So what we'll do on Halloween is everybody that's shit. I'm gonna be careful. I better be really careful actually when I say this, because knowing how the universe likes to throw shit. Okay, we'll do this. On Halloween, the original group of people that have been coming to these story times will be added into a special Halloween story. Okay, so obviously this group right here, it's is pretty close to 10. So having those names in would be relatively easy to add, in addition to whatever the keywords are in a camping ghost story type scenario. So we'll plan for that on Halloween, and I'll even make a note. Halloween special camp horror story featuring original viewers, and I'll go and I'll jot all those notes down, and you guys know who you are. It's kind of like the usual suspects. And I'll keep an eye if you guys happen to be on that episode, and then we will do that. But that is it. That's the story for right now. This one ended up being a little bit short, 45 minutes instead of an hour, but 15 minutes is not nearly enough time for us to do another episode. But I can open this up for a few minutes if you guys want to ask some questions about some of the projects that I've got going on right now. Convergence 2012, That one is coming along really interestingly. There's been some synchronicity happening lately. Some of the people that I watch in the woo woo channels have been talking about Nibiru and a bunch of other stuff, and they've been talking about the um, how do they say it? The Anunnaki. Yeah, that's right, Anunnaki. So yes, Paula, that other shirt did fit me. It's a little bit tighter, but it's not like, oh look, here's all my rolls of fat. You know, it's not disgusting. So actually, the 3X on that shirt fit pretty nice. Fit pretty nice. And I think after I wash it, dry it, wash it, dry it, wash it, dry it, stretch it, it'll fit the way it needs to fit. So I think that's going to be awesome. That one came out. Oh my god, that shirt came out so fucking good too. I'm like super thrilled about that. Like those two shirts actually really made my day. And Chemo Jackson, this is going to be fucking fun. You know, Coast to Coast AM tonight. Are they talking about Nibiru and some other shit like that? Because there's been a lot of that kind of discussion happening lately. It's kind of trippy. So yeah, Convergence 2012 is coming along pretty good. Lyra has been rocking fucking around the clock. This girl she's fucking amazing. She has found on Magic Really Sucks Book 3, she has found an additional, she's only probably halfway through. She's already found an additional, I don't know, probably another 1,000 edits, and asked some questions from a contextual point of view that I was like, yep, yep, yep. So I think it's amazing, like all the help that I got the first time. Like Tammy, my cousin Tammy, she did, I think her and Micah, they did an extensive first round of edits for me on my books. And then I did like 3 rounds of edits myself on each of those books. And then Irene did a round of editing on those. And even after all of those edits, there were still this much. And I think after Lyra's done with this, then these books are really, really top notch. So book 2 is already done. And I've already told myself I'm gonna play with some hardcover editions. And those hardcover editions, those are gonna be just private editions that I'm not selling. I'm just gonna be giving out to certain people that are instrumental and very vocal in trying to help me promote and do things, and that have gone way above and beyond on a lot of things. And when I have those, there'll be some conversations privately amongst those people. So there's going to be these will be called, and this is the video that will substantiate it. This is going to be the hidden author edit editions, and I call it that because these are pretty much final books, but there's some real subtle differences that will be between these editions and the final that will be available for the world. And namely, like in book 2, for example, one of the strongholds of the Illuminati is Disneyland. So in the final book that goes out to the world, that's going to be changed to something else, because the last thing in the world I want is for Disney to suddenly have a wild hair up their ass and want to fucking rape me. So there's that. I've already started working on Happy Core. That's the one that has Chemo Jackson and the Operator 7s in them. And that's what that one image was about. And then obviously I'm still putting work in on the Sordid Adventures of Farouk Funtuk and Jizzy J. So I'm like super excited about that. And then if I get time this year, there will be Scars. And Scars will come out. And you know, it's funny, in Scars will be dealing with some conspiratorial type stuff, and Scars will also be talking about abduction, human trafficking, and things like that, because the nature of his work gets him pulled into the dark underbelly, because, you know, he's like a one-man A-team that people hire for really extreme weird situations. So he gets pulled in to investigate and track down daughter of this rich person, and that pulls him into the underbelly of human trafficking, and that's going to be really a dark fun story as well. So anyway, that's the updates of the projects that I'm working on. And let's see, what else? Is there anything else I want to share with you guys? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, we'll be doing these on a regular basis. I'm also toying with the idea of doing story time also on Wednesdays. I'm thinking about doing story times twice a week. I'm really liking this format. I'm also going to be putting together a custom intro for it. I've already got custom art now for the real-time story times, and even changed the format of this particular live stream here. I still will be doing, yes, yep, I'm still doing it. Yep, I'm still doing Farouk Fantouk and Jizzy J. I am. But I had to take a little bit of time to finalize all of the other versions of Magic Really Sucks to make sure those are as tight as they can possibly be. And my publisher hasn't really been super helpful in that regard, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to be pushing book 2 and 3 on my own, and that's good because that's going to make it so that people can get access to all 3 books this year. They're not going to have to wait 1 year for book 2 and another year for book 3. All 3 books of Magic Really Suck will be available this year. They will be available this year. And, oh God, do I want to click this, Brian? Do I want to click it? What is this? Oh, Moonpies. Okay. Whew. Thank God. Because sometimes you guys, I never fucking know. Those are actually really good. I like Moonpies. Those are actually really delicious. Like, I could actually see Tenchi eating like fucking a dozen of these bitches while downing RC Cola, falling asleep in a gluttonous food coma while watching Big Trouble in Little China. Like, I could actually see that. That's why I think that story worked out pretty fucking well. You know, because Jack Burton always says, eat your fucking moon pies. All right, so I think we're pretty close to the hour here. Unless there's any other questions you guys want to throw out, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. But yeah, this was a fun one. Yeah, ding dongs are good. Actually, I could look at the notes here. You guys are all talking about moon pies. That's fucking hilarious. Banana moon pies. Almost said banana poon pies. That's not what I meant to say. So, banana moon pies rock. Amazon has moon pies. See, again, I keep trying to say poon pies. What the fuck? Twinkies are gross, but I like Twinkies are awesome. There was a point where Twinkies almost disappeared, and I was fucking sad. Garrett said, I've been seeing a lot of stories lately about the Momo Challenge and Wendigos. Yeah, you know, Wendigo's old school. That goes back a long way. It's kind of funny. I've been seeing stuff on Wendigos, too. I did look at your drawing video, Garen, and catch back up on that. There's some mythological things that look kind of like that thing that they showed. Let's see. Moon pies are cookies with vanilla shell around it and marshmallows in between the cookies. Yep. I've been seeing a lot of missing 411. Yep. Twinkies are great. I agree. Let's see. Ding dongs. I like ding dongs as well. Cupcakes. Yeah, okay. Tammy was asking about Jizzy J. Yep. Raised on them. Tenchi moon pies. Twinkies are good. Similar to wagon wheels. Okay. Blue waffles. No. No, Brian, I will not. That's horrible. That's fucking horrible, dude. Ah! RC Cola's hurt a person I knew once. Really? That's crazy. You can't get RC Colas in my area. You can order anything. Dude, you can order anything online. I guarantee you can order RC Colas. Yeah, if anything, it'd be Dr. Pepper. Yep. Dr. Pepper's awesome. Oh shit, ball of RC exploded in her hand at a picnic? Crazy. Oh, Bronx, you got here so fucking late, bro. Oh my god, we're done. I'm closing it down. I'm shutting it down now. Fuck, dude. Yeah, you missed it. It was a good one though. Tenchi was bold enough to throw his fucking name out in that shit. So, hey, but if you're out with the family, fuck, that's more important. You can always watch the fucking replay on this thing. That's the thing that's kind of cool about this is you can. I think what I'll start doing also is when the story starts, like the timeline, like when it starts, I'm gonna put a link in there that shows right when the story starts. So if people don't want to hear all of the lead up to it, they could just jump straight to the story, and then that way they can listen to the story, watch the story, whatever, and then when it's done, they can just go to the next one. That's what I'm gonna do. That'd be cool. So anyway, all right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna be doing more on here. Jesus Christ, Garen, what the fuck was in that? That doesn't sound like RC cola I used to drink. Jesus, something got added in that. That doesn't sound like fucking Coke or cola. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult. Anyway, that's it. I will see you guys later. Again, I'm going to try to do this Wednesdays and Sundays. Those are going to be the times that I'm going to try to do these on a regular basis. If you really like this, like you thought this was a fun one, go ahead and throw a like on it. You know, even if you didn't like it, throw a fucking like on it. It doesn't really fucking matter. Just help a motherfucker out. I'm trying to grow this channel because this is the one that deals with all my writing and all the fun stuff. Like anything entertainment based is going to be sitting here. And that frees up Angry Jackalope for just knives and other stuff like that. And, you know, talking on the Saturday night show. So I'm going to start getting more stuff over there and over here. So yeah, I guess they would sue them if they got fucking acid burns. All right, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this shit. Later.